This is where you probably are right now. You may have just woken up. You're sitting in a chair in your kitchen. You've got your hands on your head and you're thinking, firstly, the sleep I'm getting feels pretty crappy, either waking up multiple times in the night, nightmares, waking up in the morning with anxiety and guilt, that sort of cortisol soup feeling that I often say, just taking over, often feels like anxiety is hitting you like a train first thing. Your eyes are watering. You think, how am I going to make it through the day? Your brain doesn't feel like it's on your side. You used to wake up and you remember, or maybe you don't remember because you've been stuck for so long, but perhaps you do, and you remember the feelings of just waking up, the brain refreshed, sitting in the kitchen having your breakfast, and life just had a spark to it where your brain is encouraging life and encouraging energy. And you think, oh, it's so great to be alive and to have things to do today and to go maybe for the gym or for a run or for whatever. Or maybe you work out later in the day, but you're feeling, the brain is feeling, it's feeling a little bit tired because you've just woken up. But overall, it's got that sort of spring into action sensation that's going in the body. And you just feel a baseline calm, plus not happy, because happy is a moving target. So you may feel happy that you're about things in your life, but overall what you're feeling is just like a sort of serotonin is sort of bathing the mind, where the mind is just feeling nicely sort of mentally nourished. Now, when you're in OCD, I definitely did not feel like that. I was all the symptoms I just mentioned before, and more. And I used to literally think, oh, how am I going to make it through many more days? This is just unreal. And like by about 12, I was like completely taxed. My body just wanted to slump in a chair. I had extreme shoulder and neck and back pain. I felt like all of that was like cemented in pain. And I just used to sort of lie on the couch with the laptop balanced on my chest, making it through the day. So, it was a survival mode rather than being alive. I wasn't living, I was existing. And that's what it feels like. And so when you start breaking down through the recovery process and taking that off layer by layer, then that sort of bathed in serotonin feeling starts sort of seeping back to become the baseline default state. You definitely aren't in that when you're really locked up, especially with guilt, because it had that 24/7 cycle of self-defeat, of I don't deserve to rest for even 1 second. And then coupled with the fact that barely anyone understands OCD, so I felt completely hopeless. I thought I could never recover. I was the worst case ever. My event was real, so nothing would work because the event was real. So it was just solidified guilt and anxiety forever. That wasn't the case. It was my perspectives about that are always the culprit. And then breaking that down, working towards recovery, and then feeling that serotonin baseline state creep back in, seep back in would be a better way to describe it, then gets me to the place of where I am today, where I feel as I did before I had chronic OCD. And you then take that for granted, if I'm going to be personally honest, perfectly honest. After a while, you just like all humans, you just get used to it again. You just take it for granted. So I have to remind myself of at times, like, you remember where you were. So that extra gratitude and the extra happiness. I'm working with severe cases of OCD all day long, some of the most severe cases in the world, and then just the standard chronic severe. And the thing is with OCD, when you see it face to face, the struggles of other people, then I remember when people come in with the same things as me, like very bad real event harm, OCD, solipsism, sensory motor, and so on. So I do get the reminders, but I still have to keep myself in check in the sense that I have to say, like, yeah, you're forgetting about the struggles you went through. You do need to remind yourself at times, because we all focus on trivialities at times, not in a distressed way like in the days of OCD, but like on some triviality, maybe with your relationship or with your life, and it doesn't disturb me or cause me like loads of anger, guilt, or anything like that. But if you went to most humans, what are they thinking about? Oh, I've got to take my car here today. Oh, I've got to this. And then when you remind yourself of that and you remember exactly where you were, then that additional gratitude and wisdom that comes from the journey and the struggle sets into place. And looking back today, if I just felt like I did in the past, it would be very apparent very quickly how much freedom I have when you have the contrast between the two. And it's not even in comparison. The world before was complete survival mode. You deserve to be punished every single second, every holiday, every date. You deserve to be punished 24/7. So then trying to avoid those, then it turning up the heat on those more and more. I lived that for years. And I've been through that for years. And it was just relentlessly, you didn't give me a break. Like as I was recovering, it wasn't like, oh, I've got like 6 months free now and then back to stuck. It was like layers. So the torture sort of felt like it was still on, the onion layers coming off. And then eventually bit by bit, less and less. And then when I got down to like 20-30% anxiety, even if I had to live with that today, if someone said like, oh, you've got to have that back 20-30%, it wasn't the end of the world. But I wanted more. I wanted freedom. I wanted a good, healthy mind, body. And so I wanted to put that into action. I didn't want to coast. So, and that's key. And that's what we do here. Obviously, whether you're coasting, whether you're severely stuck, we get into it and look at everything. There's nothing that you could say that we haven't seen before from every single angle. And if you're coasting, reach out to us, get in touch. We'll speak to you and put together a plan so we can look at exactly what's going on. And the team here are, focused so much on just getting you out of that chronic state by unpicking those beliefs that are causing it. It's always beliefs. Always, always, always beliefs. Never a case someone comes in, they say, hi, Rob, I think I'm a treatment-resistant case, and there's no beliefs there. There are. You just can't see the beliefs because you believe them, and then you get the symptoms that follow. So because you're experiencing the symptoms, you've forgotten about the belief that was the catalyst, but the belief is always there. And that's our job, and that's what we do. And that's what we hope to do with you on the journey and work through those steps so you can get back to baseline default peace.